Well, good morning, Facebook and all the world. David R. Day here. I call these Heard Over Coffee. I am a fine art and commercial photographer. I better move the microphone over here so you can hear me. I am a fine art and commercial photographer in Boise, Idaho. I do these every morning at 9:30 Mountain Time. I've learned that I've been putting Mountain Daylight Time for the last, 15. I think I actually had mountains. I had it wrong in the beginning, and then I got it even more wrong. Fortunately, my friend Denise, who is at Canadian Standard Time, tuned me into my errors. So it's 9:30 Mountain Time every AM, every morning. Good morning, Zig. How are you? So, this is Heard Over Coffee. And what do we do here? Well, we talk about whatever's going on. I usually ask a question, I throw a joke or two up. Today, we're going to talk about some more good news. I did. I asked for people what little thing that people have done for them that really has warmed their hearts or made a difference. And I had such a great response. Yesterday. Then I'm going to go through a couple more even today. So that's fun. We're going to talk about what I did yesterday. I went out with the Idaho Truckers Association at the invite of Western Trailers. My good friend Dan Taylor asked me to come out, and I did that, and I'll talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk about we're going to talk about today's question. Oops. Oh boy, did I mess it up. Come on. I really messed up my screen over here. We're going to talk about Thursday's question, and then we're going to talk about today's question, which is what's your new and normal. And then we're going to I'm talk a little bit about my book. I'm going to tell you how you can get this on YouTube, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you should do this weekend. So let's get right to it, folks. Again, thank you so much for being here. It's so wonderful to be able to do this. We've made quite a connection. We're getting somewhere between 100 and 150 people viewing this every day. If you want to help me out by sharing it, that'd be great. You can click notifications down in one of the corners. I'm not sure which one, so you know when I'm going live. Like I said, I do this every morning at 9:30. I'd love to get this up to maybe a couple hundred, 250, something like that. Be fun. Put a lot of effort into it, and I enjoy it, and it's really cool to do that. No, Mill. My hair is going to be an adventure from here out. As it gets to this length, it just kind of does what it wants. I did shower this morning. Looks like I probably didn't run a towel over it quite as bad as normal, but I don't know. Look at that. I even got a little. You can't see it because it's gray, but yeah. It will be fun to watch the progression of my hair over the time because I'm probably not going to get it cut for a while. So, a friend of mine posted on Facebook that lots of men are going to find out that they're actually married to a gray-haired woman, and won't that be fun? So all is good. I just got back from a walk of the dog, and that was a good thing. So she's happy. Let's see if I can make this work here. So let's talk about So Much Good. One of the ones I got was, let's see if we can make this work, from my friend Zella Bardley. I love this woman. She's an amazing artist. She's very positive. She keeps track of her tribe. I'm lucky to be in that group, and I just adore her. And so she talks about it's the little things, neighbors calling in, the willingness of all of them to share what they have. She also talks about that she promised herself to look for silver linings, telling your friends that you love them, finally finishing a remodeling project. But this is what I love the best. Uh, 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 my husband and I are behaving like 25 again. And we can't keep our hands off each other. Silver linings. How fantastic is that? And thank you, Zella, for sharing that with us. Like I said, so much good. We are actually in a position, I think, where when this is all over, we're going to look back and say, maybe that wasn't so bad. It's a little bit like the computer when it gets all jammed up and you got 1,000 tabs open. I'd show you my screen, but it would be embarrassing. Well, you know what? I will show you my screen. Look at that mess. Yeah, not so good. So I'm a bit cluttered in life. I'm trying really hard to narrow some of that down. I think we're going to look back at all this and say, well, it was terrible. And we all had to stay in, and unfortunately, some people passed from us. But I think universally this time to pause and take some time and reassess and pay more attention to the people around us. My dog Dasher is wandering around on my feet right now. She's probably the happiest of anybody. She's spending 24/7 with me. After a long time of not really sleeping on my bed, she's been sleeping with me directly, just tucked into into my leg, which is wonderful. Fortunately, I don't have to put up with the cats. They're next door with Belinda, which is very good because, yeah, people keep telling me I love them. Not so much. So what can you do? Take some time, reassess. We're going to have a lot more of it. I think I was really hoping for something like May 1st, but I think it's going to be June 1st, and then it's going to be a slow roll. Maybe the restaurants are open and maybe some of the other things, but I think we're going to be stuck with this hunkering down and bunkering down for quite some time. Just my humble opinion. So what else was I supposed to talk about here? Oh, that's right. So yesterday, let's see if I have that photograph. Nope, I don't. Yeah, maybe there it is. Nope. Well, there you go. So yesterday I got a chance to go out with the Idaho Trucking Association. They gathered $20,000 from all sorts of businesses and trucking-related locations, including my friends at Western Taylor. And then they loaded up a van or two, and they took them out to the excuse me, they took them out to the, here we go, I can do this. Boom. There we go. All right, let's put that over here. So they took them out to the Port Authority, which is just, let's see, that would be south of town, and they handed out meals to the truckers. I got good news for you. I saw, I believe, 5 different Walmart trucks full of toilet paper. So we'll be out of that problem soon. In fact, I understand that in general that if you are willing to go early, you can get toilet paper at Albertsons and Walmarts and Fred Meyer's. Even hand sanitizers beginning to show up. Our amazing truckers brought all that to you. They say, if you eat it, thank a farmer. If you took it off a shelf, thank a trucker. Very, very important. It was great to see. I'm not, as I try hard not to be a political guy, and no, I do not agree with everything that Governor Little has done of late, but it was really nice to see him out there supporting the truckers. That photograph is him handing, and if you look over clear to the left, not the best photograph I've ever taken, but I was fighting with the news camera guys. I don't really want to get in their way, so if you look, you'll see a big smile on that trucker as he hands that. You'll notice that the governor has gloves on. They're very good about social distancing, so it was really wonderful. So I want to thank Dan Taylor and my friend Don Hickman of Western Trailers for giving me the opportunity to go out there. I took some photographs, and not sure where they'll show up, but it was really, really fun. It was, like I said, it was heartwarming. These are the sort of things that we need to do, help our fellow ones out. Boy, the big winner in this, Deli George, $20,000, I guess, is what the group spent. So they were able to employ 7 extra people for a couple of days. So isn't that good to get that flow into the economy? So I also want to talk. Can get rid of this political stuff over here. Let's get rid of that one over here. Well, I'm glad it sounds good, Sharon. Thank you, Zig. Hello, Daniel and Zig. It's funny. I've kind of thought about rewriting No Secrets on Main Street. That would be an interesting book to do. So I want to talk a little bit about my book. A lot of you know I invited a whole bunch of people that have been tuning in to join my private Facebook. I am in the process of trying. I think I will be successful. I'm trying to write a book, and it's called Just Around. Nope. It's called Just Around the Bend. It's called that because, in fact, it just happened this week. When I'm out with a buddy and we're traveling, we're usually on a dirt road. We're usually in the middle of nowhere. It could be in Oregon or Wyoming or Washington or lots of Idaho. Lots of Oregon lately, too. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and we're usually on a dirt road. The GPS, the Siri type almost never works. Google Maps will be a little dot in the middle of nothing. I don't know if you've ever seen that. If you're in Idaho, and you probably have, it means that Google has not surveyed that area. We're in those spots a lot. We occasionally even get off the GPS maps. So what you do in that case, so you don't really know what's in front of you, you've already been behind, you go and you look and you say, well, let's just go around that next bend. Well, Just Around the Bend is the name of the book. The way I'm hoping it will come together is that I will. So Jameson, my daughter's girlfriend, is multitasking. I can hear her talking to Belinda upstairs, and she's also watching here on the screen. Oh, you're a sweetheart, Jameson. Thanks for taking care of my Alyssa girl. So. It's hilarious. I can hear him talking about me talking down here. Oh, the modern times of amazingness that we can do with FaceTimes and the internet. Can you imagine trying to do this without it? We'd all be stuffed in a corner with that, reading that same book over and over again. We just share it from person to person in the house. This is amazing. So Just Around the Bend is my book. I've just switched. I'm on the second edit, which my daughter is helping me with. I'm really excited because she's a poet at heart, and I think that she's going to help make my stories sing. And I'm just happy beyond belief that she's decided to help me. She's between jobs. She's looking for something to do, and I'm happy to have her do that. And it'll be great. We'll settle in and we'll get her done. She will motivate her father to make it work. And I greatly appreciate the fact that she's going to help me out. So what is this book? So what it is it's a group of tales, stories, mostly true. In fact, I think I'm going to call it fact-based fiction. However, I do believe that Mark Twain, when he said that don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. So, if my friend Ziggy knows my friend Joe Brown, and he always started his stories with just the truth. This is a true story, little girl. In fact, a version of Joe shows up in the book as a sailor. He was, as he often told us, when he was younger, he was a little seaman. So it's going to be great fun to do that. So the book is 500-word story. Maybe I'll share one of those with you one of these days when I'm short on contact. I will take that. I'll get to that in a second, Robert. Just let me put this up here. Come on, you can do it. So the book is very fun. It's going to be a photograph or two or three and a tale. The tale will relate to the photographs. I'm looking at about 60 pages, I hope, maybe a little more. My original goal is to write 25 stories. I have 25 written, but some of them aren't very good. So I'm going to have to rework that. I'll work that out with Alyssa. My friend Ken Levy also did the original edit, and he's a really good technical writer. He's absolutely fantastic. So I needed to have that combination of it being correct and being fun. So I think with these two editors combined, it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking at so Robert and I, as I said earlier, Robert Riddle and I often look at that photograph of him standing in this. So he and I are often out in the middle of nowhere, and we were wandering down this path, and it didn't really go anywhere. And there's some water down there. Of course, I love water, and then there's some really cool red rocks. And he said, I knew as soon as we topped that hill and didn't stop, it was worth climbing the hill. Well, we got to the hill, and when we got up on this peak, Robert found this beautiful, beautiful image up the valley of the Owyhees. We try to avoid shooting the same thing, so I decided to hike around the corner, and it was really beautiful. That shale, hard rock, it's a tire-beaten mother. If you've been out in the Owyhees, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, I got stuck with Jeff Hansen, another one of my buddies, really stuck to the point where we had to call the Bronco Club to come and get us out, and I ended up dinging up my old Kia Sorento, which had no right for it. It should not have been on that road. So that's what it is. This is us going out, usually with somebody. I often go out alone, and I'm seeking stuff out. So I'll take a photograph. Whoops, wrong one. Whoops, wrong one. Well, you know what? Never mind. Nope, never mind. So I'll take a photograph, And in good times, I hang them at a public market. I was supposed to be this would have been a Capital City public market version of this show if the market was going on. I would have said, "Hi, this is David Arday live from the Capital City public market." But unfortunately, the city, and I believe wisely, has decided that even farmers markets are really not essential. You can still get your produce, so unfortunately, you have to get it from Freddy's instead of your local farmer. I can make a very strong case on either side of this discussion. I kind of come down with the fact that, at least for me, I don't think anybody needs a set of 4 coasters as an essential, even if they do have really pretty pictures on them. So I think it's wise. So I will hang these images and people will tell me stories. So there are stories that I've gathered from the road and stories that other people have told me. As I said, it's called Just Over Coffee. Or Just Over Coffee. That'd be a great title. No, it's called Heard Over Coffee. Let's talk. Let's see if I can do this. I've had a lot of trouble with the photograph today. Okay, let's bring this up. I want to talk about this. If I can get it over here where you can all see it. So this is a man carrying a donkey. And I was really touched by this in these times. It's not that the soldier loves donkeys or that he is some sort of perversion. I don't know why that's in there. What's happening is the field is mined, and if the donkey was free to wander as it pleases, it would detonate a charge and kill everybody. So the moral of this story, yeah, we don't want to let the jackasses run wild and be a danger for all of us. So think about that the next time you want to do something that maybe isn't quite within the social guidelines, within the social distancing. All right, wasn't that fun? A pretty good show today. I appreciate that you all participated, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 Mountain Time. And let me see. I think I got. What am I going to talk about here? Tomorrow's question is, what's keeping you sane or not? Please join me. I'll be here at 9:30, from 9:30 till about 9:45, 9:50, right in there. I'm trying to keep in 15 minutes so I don't bore the living daylights out of you. Every 9:30. I am David Arday. This is... never mind. I don't get to play the fancy outro. This is David Arday. I call this Heard Over the Coffee. Join me tomorrow. I'm out.